Thursday is prototyping day. It's when all of your sketches, your ideas, the decisions you made, it all comes together into a realistic prototype that you can test with customers. Now, on Thursday, you'll need to adopt the prototype mindset. And it's kind of cheesy, but you've got to believe. You've got to believe that no matter what you're working on, there's some way that you can prototype it. All you really need to do is build a realistic facade. That's enough. That's something you can put in front of customers, you can get their reactions, and you can get answers to your questions.
Yeah, and with that kind of irrational optimism in mind, you're going to pick the right tools to make your prototype. And this is a quick discussion you and your team are going to need to have. You've probably got tools that you use most of the time to build things. And so, for example, you might normally use Photoshop or Sketch to make your screen designs. When you're prototyping, when you're just building a facade, you want to move faster, you might use something like Keynote. Now, it's not always obvious what tool you should use to build prototypes for services or whatever kind of product it is. We've seen a lot of examples, and just a little product placement here. We talk about it a lot in the Sprint book, so you can check out some of the advice we have for tools for different kinds of products.
To get this whole prototype done in a single day, really just 7 hours, you're going to need to divide up the prototype into different pieces. You don't want one person responsible for making every single part of it from beginning to end. In addition to dividing up the storyboard and dividing up the prototype, you want to assign out a few different jobs. You'll want a writer, you'll want an asset collector, not a glamorous title, but it's the person who's going to go and sort of collect stock imagery, other things you need for your prototype. And there's the stitcher, and this is the person who takes all the individual components of the prototype and stitches those together to make sure that it all makes sense and that it all flows as a cohesive prototype.
Once you've stitched it all together around maybe 3 or 4 p.m., you're going to gather the team together and run through that stitched prototype or prototypes to make sure it all makes sense. Now, we always make a small mistake or two, and so it's important to leave yourself a little bit of time to fix those gaps or anything that you find. So by the end of the day, you've got the whole thing all set, all put together. You're ready for Friday's test.